Well, hello, and welcome back to Cert Junkie 42. On today's show, we're going to do a demonstration of the Zenmap application. Yeah, we're going to understand network scanning with Zenmap, the GUI interface for NMAP. We've got the application started up already for you, and when you start the application, it's kind of interesting. It comes up with a default command for you. It is the nmap-t4- capital lowercase v. That information, that scan, will start out with the T4. We'll explain the T4. T4 identifies the intensity of the scan, how many packets per second it's going to be sending it out. And this scan is a pretty aggressive scan. So we're going to be sending out a lot of packets all at once. What does that mean? That means that if someone is paying attention, more than likely they're going to notice that your scan is occurring. Okay, so you'll need to be aware of that. The next thing you're going to find is the dash A. The dash capital A option will do a couple different things for you. First thing that it will do is it will enable operating system detection. It'll give you the ability to find out what operating system more than likely that you're talking to. The second option that comes along with dash A, or the second setting, is the dash S, uppercase S, lowercase v. What that does for you is that will do a version detection of the applications that are running on the system, give you an idea of specifically the application. So if you're running a specific, for instance, the WUFTP program, then it will tell you that you're running that particular vendor's program, FTP program. So it will enable version detection. It will also enable script scanning. Basically, what it's going to do is it's going to run through the standard NMAP script engine default category scripts. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the scripting technology with NMAP, I will include a link in the description in the video notes to let you know where to find the listing of the default scripts that come along with it. So the dash capital A will also turn on script scanning. It will also do a trace route between your system, the system you're scanning from, and the destination system. That's all with the dash capital A. Again, it's going to do an OS detection. It's going to do a version detection. It's going to do run through a default list of scripts against the target, and it's going to do a trace route. Now, with the default set of scripts, okay, it's not recommended that you run the dash A option against a target that you are unfamiliar with, that you do not have a relationship with. You probably ought to get the receiver's approval before you do that, because this can be quite intensive. This can be quite intensive. Okay, and then the dash V will give me some additional verbosity types of information. Give me additional information from the what's going on with the NMAP scan. Doesn't give you a lot of details. That would be the dash lowercase v, but lowercase v gives you more detailed explanation of what's going on with the output. Now that's the default scan that they have for you. Now we're not going to run that scan. I want to go through it real quick just to give you an idea of what you're going to see. This scan will take a while, but what we're going to do is we're going to do an operating system scan. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to go ahead and change the NMAP scan to be a dash uppercase O, and then I want to identify the range of IP addresses that I wanted to scan. We're going to do the 10.10.10. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an asterisk after that. That is an option when it comes to identifying the addresses for NMAP. To say basically we don't care what's going to be in the fourth octet, go ahead and try scanning any IP address that shows up in the fourth octet. So that should include 10.10.10. 10.10.10.1 through 10.10.10.254. I could, if I wanted to, I could do the same thing with doing a 1-254. Okay, and of course that's going to be a lot more typing than just doing a dash asterisk. Okay, but I can go that direction as well. Also, I could do a 0/24 for my address identification. So there's three options that you can identify for your NMAP scan. I'm going to go ahead and do the asterisk, and I'll go ahead and run that scan. This one should not take very long at all, and we'll run that scan. All you have to do is click on scan, or I just hit the enter key in the command prompt. And you'll notice that it's gone ahead and start, and it lets me know that it started up at 9:12 Pacific time. So it gives me an idea of how long more than likely that scan is going to run for me. This should not take long at all. I'm just doing a -O. And remember, this -O is actually used for operating system detection, and it is one of the components that are implemented with the -A. Okay, you notice that I'm getting some feedback, some information back already from the system, and we're going to let the scan finish. This, again, will not take very long at all to get, and it's done. There you go. There's the scan, it's done. And one of the cool things about the NMAP GUI, the Zenmap GUI, is you'll note that now along the left-hand side, it gives me a subcategory for all of the hosts that it found. You'll notice I have 6 systems out here. I've got 10.10.10.8, 10.10.10.10.9, 10.10.10.10, 10.10.10.11, 10.10.10.12, and then I've got a system out here that's goodshopping.com. Yeah, www.goodshopping.com. And you'll note that in the information that we have a listing of the open ports that have shown up. And the important information that we're looking for, not only does it tell me what applications and what ports, doesn't give me a specific version identification of those applications, but it will give me, here's the NMAP scan for 10.10.10.8. The host is up, so it did get some information back from that. It has identified that of the 1,000 ports that were scanned using the NMAP-O, 989 of those ports were closed. Okay. When it comes to the 1,000 ports that are scanned, NMAP does not just do port 1 through 1,000. Nope. What nmap.org does for us is on a regular basis it scans the internet and basically does an accounting of all the ports that it finds opened on the internet. And it'll take the ports the 1,000 ports that show up most often in an NMAP scan, and those are the ones that the NMAP systems are going to scan for us with the NMAP-O and other scans that we do with NMAP. You notice we've got a listing of those ports that are open, which are good. Those all show up in green. Okay. We've got the MAC address. The MAC address shows up here of the receiving system. You notice it kind of tells me this is a general purpose device based on the information it got back from the NMAP scan. And then it says, you know what? We're pretty sure that the system is running Microsoft Windows 7, Windows 2008, or 8.1. And I can tell you for sure this is a Windows 8 machine. Okay. You'll notice it shows me information about the OS detection and kind of gives me an idea of what it thinks it saw. And then right here it tells me the OS details. And again, the options as to what operating system we're dealing with. So it gives me a kind of a general idea. And again, the reason that I want to know what operating system I'm running on this on the target is so that I can find a list of vulnerabilities that might be associated with that particular operating system. And you notice here's my trace route. Yep, it's one hop away from me. It's all on the same segment. Yep. And I'll get that information from all of those. 10.10.10.9, it comes back and says, you know, it's either Linux Core 3 or Core 4. Okay. Most specifically, yep, anywhere between 3.2 and 4.8 is the operating system for 10.10.10.9. 10.10.10.10, it tried really hard to try to figure out what operating system it is, and it does not look like it was successful, although it's pretty sure that the MAC address is a Microsoft MAC address. It gave me basically the TCP/IP fingerprint, but did not come back with a good guess of what that operating system was. That was for 10.10.10.10. For 10.10.10.11, it has no idea what that one is. Although it does come back with a Microsoft MAC address, I can assure you that it is not Microsoft at all. And you notice that all 1,000 ports were closed. So we have no idea what the operating system was there on that. Okay, and I can tell you, just to let you in on the secret, yeah, that's Kali Linux system, so it's being pretty quiet. For 10.10.10.12, it gives me a lot of information. Says, you know what, there are so many resources open up on that server that we're going to identify or categorize as a general purpose. It is more than likely Windows Server 2012, Windows 7, or Windows 8.1. And more specifically, yeah, this is the update versions that we're sure that that is. Okay, and I can tell you that 10.10.10.12 is indeed a Windows 12 server. Okay, and then it actually did a scan on itself. Yeah, that's this is the one that we're scanning from 10.10.10.16. Okay, and yeah, it was unable to identify specifically which operating system it was. And I got to tell you quite honestly, uh, this lab we do not have an updated version of NMAP. So I'm guessing that if I had an updated version, it would be more likely to be successful in giving me that information. Okay. And so what I want to show you next is the tab right here next to NMAP output. Okay. That gives me an idea of the ports and hosts that were open on each one of the systems. So for 10.10.10.8, I get a quick categorization of what ports were open on that system. 10.10.10.9, the only thing I had open was a web server. 10.10.10.10, I've got an FTP server, an HTTP server, as well as some Microsoft NetBIOS information running. You notice I got absolutely nothing back from that Kali Linux system. And 10.10.10.12, again, a lot of things open, including, looks like we've got an LDAP type of system for more than likely. This is an Active Directory domain controller. And there's 16 for you there. Okay, so that's the ports and host tab to give you a general idea of what ports or hosts are open very quickly in the GUI interface. Okay, the next thing I want to show you, and this is actually an excellent feature that has not always been part of NMAP, is an ability to actually get a map of the network, a topology of the network. And if I click on the fisheye option and then scroll forward a little bit, you'll notice that I can get a better view of the different systems and how they're connected to my network. Now, if I had some layer 3 devices in here, they should show up in my NMAP scan as well. But yeah, this gives me a good graphic identification of what the network looks like and how things might be connected to each other. Okay, so this is the topology page, and of course a little more detailed information of what each one of those are. Okay, from here I can get information about the host details. Let's check that 10.10.10.11. Yeah, I have no idea what that operating system is, that Kali Linux system. You'll notice that if I come over here to 10.10.10.9, that is definitely a Linux system. Okay. 10.10.10.8 identifies as Windows. Okay. 10.10.10.10 also shows up as Windows. And 10.10.10.12 shows up as Windows as well. Okay. So that's there's the tabs along the top. Next thing I want to do is I want to they give you a nice little accounting of all the services that were discovered in our scan, all of the services. So if I want to get an idea of which systems are running FTP, I click on the FTP service, and you'll notice that 10.10.10.10 is, and of course goodshopping.com is. Anything that's running HTTP, yep, 10.10.10.9, 10.10.10.10.10, and of course, good shopping at 10.10.10.16 shows up as HTTP. So again, I can get an identification of which systems specifically are running a particular application. Okay. Um, One of the things that I like to do, one of the things that I find really useful is if I'm running a scan on a system, I'm usually going to turn on Wireshark on the system so that I can get an idea what packets we're seeing. So I have a general idea of what's going on with the scan. But NMAP has a great feature that we haven't seen yet that I really like a lot. The option is a dash dash packet trace. Did I fat finger it? I did. T R A. Oop, I can't type. R A C. Come on. R A C E. There we go. Packet trace. Oh, and you know what? Yep, it is packet dash trace. That's the reason. My finger's going. Wait a minute. There we go. Packet trace. To be able to get a listing of the packets that are being sent out. So we're just going to do just a general NMAP scan against a specific system. We're going to do 10.10.10.10, our Windows 10 system, okay, and see what's going on with that. So I'm going to start to scan, and you'll note that I'm going to all of a sudden get all kinds of information about what packets are being sent and what packets are being received in the scan. I like this feature a lot. Now, this doesn't take too long, but there's going to be a lot of information. There we go. It's going to be sent. And again, this took about 14 seconds to run. Okay. And I got a listing of all the packets. Now, we did a scan on all 1,000 ports. Now, if you'd like to get a listing of those 1,000 ports, here's your great place to do that. Now, you'll note that it identifies the contents of the packet. This is a TCP packet. It's being sent from this system, which is 10.10.10. 10. Let me try it again. 1, 2. There we go. 10.10.10.16. With source port is 62.237. Okay, and you'll note that the destination port is 1097, and this is a synchronization message that's being sent. There's my SYN packet there. Yeah, SYN. Okay. It tells me the time to live on the packet, which you'll notice they kind of do a little bit of randomization on that, so you can't get a read on what type of system you're communicating from. The IP ID, the IP length, the sequence numbers, the Windows size, and things like that. Okay, and then you'll notice I'm getting a response back from those systems. There's an RA. That's a reset acknowledgement. Okay, and that would indicate that that packet is closed or that port is closed. Now, what I want to do, and I haven't found any. I've looked, but I haven't found any options to be able to search through the contents in the NMAP output window. So I'm going to go ahead and select all. Okay, and I'm going to copy that information and put it in a notepad. Bring up Notepad, make it full screen. Let's make it full screen. There we go. And I'll go ahead and paste it in there. Okay. And now what I'll do is I'll do an edit find. And I'm looking for a SYN-ACK. I want to find a SYN acknowledgement. And I'm at the bottom of the file, so I'm going to go up and see what I can find. Okay. And there we go. We've got a SYN-ACK against 10.10.10.10. Okay, and this is a SYN-ACK coming back from 10.10.10.10 going to port 21, coming from port 21. So this indicates that we've got an FTP server on that system. So I got a SYN-ACK, not a reset acknowledgement from that system, from the system I'm scanning. So let's check. If I scroll down here, all the way to the bottom of the scan, you'll notice that, yep, indeed, FTP port was open. Okay, and so that's what we got. That's how we knew that that port was open and how that showed up in our list. Every system we got a SYN-ACK from, okay, then that indicates that that port was open. Okay, and so that was good. Let's do this. Let's do this real quick. It's like I haven't done this yet. Let me do a right click, and let me do a oh no, let's go up here, edit. And we'll do a find, and we'll do port 21. In fact, I'll make it a :21 just so that I can specifically look for that information. And that's 2100. Yeah, that's not going to help me at all, is it? There's 2100 again. Nope, nope. This was not going to have my desired effect. If I put a space after, it'll probably help. Let's go the other direction. Let's go up. Yeah, I want to see what the whether or not we got an acknowledgement at the end of that package. Or there's 21. That's a SYNAC. Okay. And the question is, did I get a final acknowledgement from that? Let me see if I can get a space in after that. Space. Find next. Yep, there's port 21. So that's just, there's a synchronization for port 21. And I'll do a find next. Yep, there it is. For the SYNAC, got back. And let's do a find next. We got nothing. We did not send a final acknowledgement for these packets. Okay, so that's kind of an interesting scan. So we got the SYN, got a SYNAC back, and then we pretty much ignored the system after that. Okay. And so that's the whole concept of packet trace. And I think that would be a great tool if you want to learn more about what types of data packets are being sent from source to destination. Activate that with your scan. That'll make things interesting. Okay. The next thing I want to do is for those of you who want to do what they call a specific profile. Basically, there are some profiles that are created for you with the scans that you need, okay, the different settings that you need automatically. For instance, if I want to do a what they call a slow comprehensive scan, okay, a slow comprehensive scan, I can go up here to the profile window and I can select slow comprehensive scan. And you'll notice that it does then indeed fill up my my list here with a variety of different options, okay, for my scan, okay. And so to quickly go through the list here to get an idea of what we're looking at, okay, with my slow comprehensive scan. And if, by the way, if I did this scan would take 20 minutes just against that one system. So this is going to be a pretty long, intensive scan. It's an NMAP dash lowercase s, uppercase s, which is a synchronization scan. We're going to send out SYNs. We'll get a SYNAC back, and more than likely it's not going to respond to that SYNAC at all. I'm going to do a UDP scan. That would be a lowercase s, uppercase u with this slow comprehensive scan. We're going to set the timing. With my timing, I can go from T1 to T5. T1 is what we call a paranoid scan. We're going to do a really slow scan, and I have no idea how many days it would take to do this particular scan if I did what they did a T1 or what they call a paranoid scan. T2 would be sneaky, which means send out a few more packets per minute or per second than a paranoid. Polite is T3. T4, I'm sorry, T, did I do that wrong? T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, whoop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, it should be T0. Sorry, paranoid is T0. Sneaky is T1. T2 is polite. T3 is normal. The T4 is an aggressive scan. We're going to send out a lot of data. And of course, T5 is what they call insane. It'll be sending out a boatload of information all at once. So again, the T identifies how aggressive you want the scan to be, okay, or how many packets you want per second. It goes from T0 all the way up to T5. Okay. PE is an ICMP echo request. We'll get an echo reply back, hopefully, if the system's up. This gives me the ability to still get a scan, even though the ports might be closed on the system, to see if ICMP is running on it. PP gives me the ability to get an idea of what the timestamp is on that particular scan, the timing on that. So if I'm doing these on a regular basis, I get a timestamp with this. The dash P S 80,443 is a TCP synchronization scan on port 80 and port 443. I'm looking specifically to see if a web server is enabled on that system. PA is an ACK scan where we send a TCP packet where the acknowledgement flag is turned on only. Okay, and this is against 3389. This will be against remote desktop on the system. See if remote desktop is up. PU 40125 is a UDP scan against a port that we expect to be closed. It is not very often, in fact, if all, that UDP port 40125 is open. Okay, now this will give me the ability, and we'll talk about this in another video, to be able to identify a system that might be eligible for my Fraggle scan. Yeah, I want to be able to identify a UDP port that's closed. So this will give me the ability that if I want to do a Fraggle scan or a Fraggle attack, okay, that this will identify a port's closed. And again, we'll talk more about the Fraggle attack in another video. Okay, the PY checks to see if stream control transmission protocol is available. This is a protocol that is supplanting the TCP/IP protocol or the TCP protocol. Okay, so that would be Stream Control Transmission Protocol, or SCTP. This is usually a port that is used by SSH. Okay, what else do I got up here? I got a dash G53. With dash G53, that says, okay, your source port, I want my source port to come from port 53. It looks like it's coming from a UDP server, as far as I can tell. Yeah. Okay, and then we have the dash script command. This uses, again, my NMAP scripting engine with all the scripts that are available for me by default. And so with the dash script, okay, I want to use any script that's in the default category or in the discovery and safe category. Okay, so I want it to be in either the default category or in the discovery and the save category at the same time. So if the script is in the default and the save category, then we want to run that. Or we want to run anything that's in the default category. Okay? And again, we'll give you a link in the description of the video for the reference, the NMAP reference for those different categories and which scans are going to be contained in there. Okay, and so that's the slow comprehensive scan. Again, if I run this, it's going to take a good 20 minutes on our local network. So we're not going to run that. But I do want to show you one other thing before we call it a video. We want to show you how to create a new profile. So yeah, we've already used the slow comprehensive scan profile. I want to create my own. So I'm going to go up here to profile, okay, and I'm going to select new profile. Okay, and you'll notice that it automatically fills my profile with all of the information I had in the command line. I don't want that, so I'm going to get rid of it. Yep, so it's gone. Okay, and I'm going to give the this profile a name, and I'm going to call it null scan. Okay, that's what I'm going to call the null scan. Okay, and with my null scan, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go to the scan portion. Okay, and I want to identify the target. This one's going to be 10.10.10. Oop, I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, there we go, 10.10.10.10. There we go. Okay, we're going to identify what type of TCP scan. I want it to be a null scan, so I'll select a null scan. Okay, and then I don't want any non-TCP scans, and you'll notice that I have UDP scans, IP scans, list scans, no port scans, those type of things. But I'm gonna leave it as none. And then here's my timing, and you'll notice again, here's my timing. A T0 is paranoid, T1 is sneaky, T2 is polite, T3 is normal, T4 is aggressive, and T5 is insane. We'll select T4 there. Okay. And you notice I have some additional options here. I can enable the all or advanced aggressive options, operating system detection, version detection, idle scan, and we'll talk, again, we'll do another video a little bit later on idle scans and how that all works. The FTP bounce attack, to see if that's available, that bounce command, the port command on FTP. Disable the reverse DNS lookup, and of course IP version 6 scans. So we have some options on there. We're going to go ahead and leave it with that, and I'm going to go ahead and save the scan. I'll save it. Okay. And in order to run that scan now, all I have to do is come up here to the profiles and select my null scan. And you'll notice it comes up with exactly what we're looking for before, the Nmap dash lowercase s uppercase n T4 against 10.10.10.10. I'll go ahead and hit scan. This should not take long at all. And sometime today, any second now, it should let me know what's going on. It should do all 1,000 ports. So it will take just a moment. There we go. And you'll notice that it says I got nothing back. Yep, host is up. 1,000 ports scanned are all closed. All the UDP are all of the ports on that particular system are closed. In other words, they did not respond to the null scan whatsoever. Okay. All right, so that's my demo of Zenmap. I didn't give you a complete demo because you know what, dudes? I got other things to do today. I really do. I got lots of stuff to do. But yeah, that gives you an introduction of the Zenmap GUI interface. You've got all kinds of exploration to do now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure that you hit the like button. If you have not just subscribed, I encourage you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. There will be new videos coming up every week. Have yourself an excellent day, and we'll see you in a future video. Thanks for watching.